Hi, my name is Cara Smith. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Just starting, very first video. My goal is essentially vlogging. Am I on camera? Yeah. My goal is essentially vlogging. It'd be with me and my fiance and our son and my family as they want to participate. And essentially going day-to-day life of real-time mommy, which there are a lot of people out there that do YouTube videos and channels, their organization, family life, stay-at-home mom, blah 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 blah, all sorts of stuff. Great channels, I love following, but I also notice there is a lot of editing and things involved with all that, trying to get good lighting, do video editing, cut and pasting all the, the crap and the stuff out. But I guess my goal is to be a bit more raw and, as frugal as possible. So my goal is not to just, document lifestyle changes, and I'll go through the list of the different things you might see on here, but also to do it in a very raw way. So right now, I have an old Canon camera that I actually got as a hand-me-down from my BFF. My hair is completely undone. I am wearing the clothes I wore to my nephew's dance class this morning. I don't wear makeup, so what you see is what you get. I have no filters. I'm literally using the sunlight from my window, which I just knocked the blinds off of by opening them, and they popped right off the top. Yay. Or I might have different lighting because I have a lamp up there if I film later in the day. I do curse like a sailor. Try not to do that. And the other thing is I'm really trying to be raw and open about different life experiences, particularly where my health is concerned. Where my passions are, and just how to juggle life and everything. So some of the things you might see, I wrote it down so that way I didn't have to remember. But some medical observations, very specifically though to my health and my hubby's health. So you'll see a lot of talk about PTSD, autoimmune diseases, what I personally think is true or false, what science might have said is true or false. And, by the way, I am an EMT, or rather I was. I let my certification lapse because I couldn't do ambulance anymore because of COVID. I was at high risk for infection. So I let that lapse. I didn't bother renewing it. But anyways, I do have medical background. My hubby was formerly a military paramedic. He has a lot of medical background. We're very medically involved. But that does not mean that our medical knowledge isn't out of date. That's the nice thing about medicine. It's constantly changing. There are constant new discoveries. And you also have to be careful because there's also a lot of false information out there in the world, especially on the internet. A lot of it's clickbait that people read too much into. So you'll see a lot of stuff about mental health, physical health, how they play together, how we deal with it, specifically us. I'll make suggestions on what to try, but also understand every body is different. Everybody adapts to different scenarios differently, and we don't even comprehend it the same way. So what works for me may not work for you, what works for you may not work for me, and we take what we can, we leave behind what we can't do. So you'll see that. So that pulls into health and wellness, and I'm on a weight loss journey. I don't want to consider it weight loss. It's not really weight loss. It's more like I want to be strong and as healthy as possible. If I can lose the baby fat from when my son was first born 6 years ago, great. If I can tone up that skin and everything, great. We'll probably end up having some sort of plastic surgery or tummy tuck because he stretched me out bad. And we are trying more natural ways to get it to rebound, but, once skin stretches past a certain point, it doesn't rebound anymore. Or it rebounds to a point and then it can't anymore. But, outside of that, I teach dance. I've done dance, tap, jazz, ballet, modern, although I'm very not strong in modern. And I do a lot of arts and crafts stuff, and my sister loves crafting, so I might pull her in on this too. And go in and show you my creative processes and things like that, what inspires me and how to stay motivated, because let me tell you, motivation's hard. You might hear about military stuff, camping, any of my hubby's hobbies, which is 1 billion different things. I will try to keep this topic to a minimum, but philosophy, religion, and politics, I kind of throw them all in the same category because they're very triggering for a lot of different people. But also maybe just like ridiculous fun stuff. And oh, my friends really want me to start doing a Momo Mama Cooks series, because I'm notoriously bad at cooking. I cook things out of packages. I'm a decent baker, but I'm bad at cooking. And every time I'm like, let me try something new today, they'll get texts like, dear God, what the hell am I doing? Or, oh no, is this what it's supposed to look like? And I have no sense of smell, not from corona, but from my autoimmune disease. So it makes it cooking a little bit more difficult. So they're very excited if I actually start a series on that. So, a couple disclaimers. Don't take what I say as a medical advice. Yes, take it in, absorb it, spit it back out if it's not for you. Fact check me, of course, absolutely, because I don't know everything. I know lots of different things, but not everything about all those things. I know a little bit of everything. I'm a jack of all trades by my nature. I have all these noises. I hope you can hear them. My phone, the dog. There might be a kid yelling at some point. If Grandma says he's not napping, he gets in trouble, but we'll get there. But quick rundown on my background. I consider myself a stay-at-home mom because I'm home during the day. But I'm a dance teacher, so a lot of my work is in the after-school hours. My hubby is in the process of retiring, but he is now on disability because he's been blown up a couple of times. I have an autoimmune disease called Wegener's granulomatosis with polyganginitis, which I probably didn't say that last word right, but they also changed the name. It's Wegener's. I don't care what they say. It's Wegener's. I was very fortunate. Mine is localized, which means it only occurred in my sinuses. But when it gets severe, it goes into your lungs and your kidneys and causes renal and respiratory failure. It can kill you. But it is also highly treatable. But it is also hard to test for, because first few symptoms, sinus infections, nosebleeds. You think you just have a seasonal cold all the time. And you should never have sinus problems all the time. Even in allergy season, something should give you relief. I had constant all the time, but it's when I started getting nosebleeds for 15 minutes, 3 times a day, I was like, that is way not normal. And I also had this blazing red eye from episcleritis. And long story short, I have Wegener's. I get chemotherapy generally about every 6 months. We try to go longer distances between each chemotherapy session. I'm past my 6-month mark, which is very exciting because I still feel generally good, because I also have fibromyalgia, so that's just forever pain. But the one thing that you probably have noticed by now is that my nose used to be this beautiful Roman nose. Okay, I had a nice little gorgeous bridge, and now it's sunken in right here. That's because Wegener's is a vasculitis. The inflammation of the blood vessels actually causes damage to the cartilage. So there's no supporting cartilage from this point back. It's just this front point of my nose that I still have cartilage in. Everything back there, one giant gaping hole. I do have to rip the scabs and the boogies out, and maybe I'll show you that process one day, but no. You will also notice I keep getting discharge from my eyes. That's because there is still a constant state of infection going on in my sinuses, because the chemotherapy's point is to shut down my immune system, to stop my immune system from attacking my own body. So, that being said, I have one son. His name is Shay. It's not his full name, but I'm not going to mention his full name for the internet, or at least not yet, maybe when he's older. I do live at home with my parents and one of my brothers. My other brother is often married and has his own kids. My sister is often married and has her 2 kids. But we are very much a close-knit family. So this is a multi-generational household, multiracial household. And my religious background, my app reminded me to drink water, which I'm out of. But my religious background is I'm an Episcopalian. Quick disclaimer on religions that I do have a very good sense of Christian history. I don't know all the intricate details, but I do know the general timelines and histories. And just to give a quick timeline on my Christian history is, by the way, anybody who believes in Jesus is a Christian. Because that tends to shock people. They always ask me, what do you mean there's different kinds of Christians? I thought there was Christians and Catholics. I'm like, no, Catholics are Christians. We all believe in Jesus being the Messiah. That's what makes you a Christian. But there's the original Christians, then there's the Great Schism, so you end up with like Orthodox and Catholic. And I don't know much about the Orthodox side because mine branches out from the Catholic traditions. So from the Catholic traditions, you got your Protestant Reformation, which led to your Protestants, your Lutherans, and I think the Methodists. My history's a little hazy, but there's also the Anglican Church from Henry VIII saying basically, boo to you, Pope, you're not going to tell me how to run my country, and I want to marry this chick, so I'm going to do what I want, make up my own church. So you go from the Anglican Church, come across the sea to the United States of America, Revolutionary War happens, England doesn't want to associate with the Anglicans over here anymore, so the Anglicans over here, they basically make their American version of the same exact religion, which is the Protestant Episcopal Church of the United States of America. That's the actual full name. We just call ourselves Episcopalians. Which is just the same as the Anglican Church. And it's, if you ever go to a high mass, which means there's a Holy Eucharist and anything, it's very similar to the Catholic Mass because we use all the same traditions. Our rules are just a little more laxed. So that way kings could marry who they wanted to marry. We don't generally celebrate the saints unless we feel like it. We don't go to confession every Sunday. It's not a requirement to receive communion. And the only specifications we make is you should be baptized before you receive communion. Outside of that, if you're Methodist, you're Methodist. You're Catholic, you're Catholic. Everybody is welcome in the Episcopal Church. Which, you know, a lot of Episcopalians feel like is not entirely true because they've been to Episcopal churches but they didn't feel welcome, and I feel very sorry for them and for that, but, you know, I don't think that has anything to do with the religion itself. I think that has to do with the stigmas inside that particular community. And I know that for a fact because we had that issue too, where new people would show up, one particular parishioner would, you know, talk to them, and next thing we know, we never see them again. So it's like, I think that's just a people problem. It's not necessarily a religion problem. But anyways, brief history. Not so brief. But we're Episcopalian, except for my brother, who's now an atheist. I don't want to talk about that. I have my own issues with him specifically. Disclaimer here, I don't have issues with atheists, as long as I don't force my God on you. You don't force your disbelief on me. To each their own. If you're Buddhist, you celebrate Buddha. If you're Muslim, you celebrate Islam. Probably saying that all wrong. Good for you. As long as nobody is hurting anybody is what's important to me. That includes emotional hurt. And that sometimes happens even here in my house with my brother being an atheist. I don't think he's trying to... I don't want to talk about it. That's going to be a long conversation. Let's skip that. Happy mood. But anyways, I wanted to start this channel because, let's face it, 2020 was a shit show. Bad language, sorry. 2021, I hope a lot of things get fixed, resolved, and we move on with our lives. It's still a bit of a poop show, but I'm really hoping that by doing this vlogging, it helps me focus, and it helps my family focus, and we're going to get a lot done. You might see most often decluttering and cleaning videos too, because in my actual house is probably about 4 different households of stuff in it, and it's been a long process of getting through the emotional part of getting rid of all that stuff. So it's very difficult. And then I might also be over at my sister's house and doing a video over there because she has the same exact problem. So many of her in-laws and relatives and even my grandmother's stuff was there up until a little bit ago. We got rid of most of it, and she passed away in 2004. No, 2006. So that says a lot. It was a long time ago. We only just got rid of her stuff now. My aunt passed away 2016? I don't even remember. But we still have a lot of her stuff in my house. So after going through all that process, and my fiance's mother passed away and got her house foreclosed on, that stuff is in my garage too. We got rid of a lot of that crap. Stuff. I'm bad at cursing. But yeah, this is my introductory video. I hope you guys like the channel. I'm gonna try and make it organized, but like I said, my goal here is not to just be a real mom, but to be as raw as possible. Some days I might wear makeup because I finally feel like it. Some days I might be dolled up and have my hair done because I feel like it. Right now, I don't. This is me, real me. I want to go back to bed and go back to sleep. Yeah, my hair is a hot mess, isn't it? So anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you guys subscribe. You don't have to like. I really don't care. This is more for me than you. Hopefully it'll be eventually about you guys. But I just want to share my own life experiences. Maybe you guys can learn or grab something from it. I found that the more you share, the less you hurt, and the more somebody else learns. Because let's face it, we all make mistakes, but that doesn't mean we and others can't learn from it. So, alright, now for real. Bye-bye.